Let me ask you this, because I know that you're on limited time. So what do you believe is the secret to get to the point to where you're at, to where you've had many photos published in major magazines, books, Epcot Center, exhibited at the Epcot Center. What did it take to get to that point?
It's a pretty good question.
Yeah.
Because basically I'm a slow learner, and I just never gave up, and I just learned from each mistake. Because once I started entering into print competition, I think my first print I didn't even hang. I think they kept it on the floor.
Oh.
It was so bad. So I just learned that way, and at first I sort of fought the system. I thought, what do these guys know? I got a 70-some score. So I said, what do they know? And then after a while, I started talking to the, some of the judges, and they point certain things out, and then you learn certain things about the rules. So it's all you have to do is just follow the basic rules, and then you can make prints that score. It's sort of like, how do I get to a certain store? Well, you just have to follow that route. If you make a left turn and go to Joe's Bar, that's not gonna make it. So you want to just follow the path. So just follow your goals and just never quit. I mean, it's very simple. It could be, any kind of business though is very frustrating, and I think that's probably one of the problems in school is that maybe they're taught now that everybody's a winner.
Yeah.
I hate to talk about this, but not everybody's a winner from the start. Many people fail at first, so that's actually good because that's like an incentive to say, I failed, but you know what? I'm going to just brush myself off, and I'm going to get better, and I'm going to show him. So you want to, get better, learn from your mistakes. Don't just stop at where you fail at. So just brush yourself off and keep going again.
That's good advice.
So that's
good advice.
You probably feel the same way about it, I would think, huh?
Yeah, it's difficult in the beginning, especially if you want to work in the field of photography with the major shooters, because as a young person, I'm older now. I'm like 50, but when I was younger, just starting out in my 20s, it isn't always an easy system. I mean, you start out as an apprentice at times, and like I mentioned, I went to school, but I didn't really learn until I got to work for the really great shooters. But you start out as an apprentice, and you just do whatever you have to do, what they tell you to do. You could be setting up a shot, and then you could be sweeping the floor, and it's just the price you have to pay. So after you shoot a shot, it's like, well, you need to sweep the floor now. So you get the broom, you sweep it, and you clean it up, and you do the best job that you possibly can, because overall, the head shooters or the studio owners are saying, this person takes great pride not only in their photography, but they also take great pride in the studio as far as how it looks, and that makes a big difference to them.
Sure.
The whole package.
Yeah.
And then and because if you can't,
and that person's going to get ahead a lot easier,
a lot quicker.
And it's the same way in your business. I mean, if customers see that you care more than the average person, they're going to keep coming back to you. Not only that, but they're going to recommend you. They're going to go out of their way to recommend you. You know
what's interesting in the film business, when I worked on shows out in LA, what's interesting is there was young people that came in that had a 4-year degree in film college, and they would come on set, and set hours are long. I mean, we would work. This is when I wasn't doing commercial. I was working in the film on set, and they're like 17-hour days, but we would get people coming in, and they would quit the first day. After all the money they spent on a 4-year college, they would quit this first day because that day, the long day, the 17-hour day, the first day, first of all, it's long. And then it might be kind of like, someone might ask that person to go get coffee for the crew.
Yeah.
And the person's like, I didn't sign up to get coffee for the crew. But see, a lot of the...
So they feel like they're above that, huh?
Well, a lot of the people in the film business, they've come up the hard way, and they've had to work hard, and it is not easy. It is not easy. Some of the
Yeah,
producers.
what difference does it make if they have to get coffee or if they're standing behind a camera? It's only a temporary thing to get that
It's
coffee.
temporary.
Because maybe next time somebody else might get the coffee.
Well, that's what happens.
Sure.
I mean, someone
You
doesn't
work-
come in that day, and it's just like, if it's a
You
non-union
have to
job.
work your way up towards
Right.
towards getting to the top.
If it's a non-union job, I started out. This was after I worked as a commercial photographer on major jobs, but I wanted to try the film business, and I started loading trucks.
Yeah.
I had no problem with it. I said, hold on, let me get my gloves. I'll be back. That's after I interviewed. And I came back and I loaded trucks.
They probably thought that you weren't coming back.
Well, I went back and I loaded trucks. But you know something? This was a non-union job. So because union and non-union is different. In a non-union job, you can do other jobs without having to have a specific reason to do a specific job. So I went, that makes sense, but I went to work one day and they said that, so-and-so didn't show up. And they said, take this walkie-talkie. And I'm like, what? And they said, you're going to go on,
That's great.
You're going to start out as an AD, assistant director.
Well, they saw your attitude towards work and towards getting the job done.
I loaded the trucks. I did the best I could. And
Even as a studio owner, you're going to be emptying trash and taking out the garbage and
yes.
dusting off all your trophies and stuff. Who's going to do that? Of course, you can hire people to do that. Of course, most people do.
Right.
But if there's nobody there and you have
to
somebody
do
coming
it.
in and stuff, guess who's doing it? You are, which is okay.
This
Keeps you honest.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
To see more information about learning photography, please visit www.photophones.com. Thank you.